Good morning. Ceteris paribus to you watching the live video. Ceteris paribus to all of you. Ceteris paribus meaning all things held constant except for price. Okay? So if we do a quick review from Friday, screen 2, where's screen 2? Here we go. We do a quick review from Friday. Remember, we were able to, this was a different class at Alpaca, but we're going to go back. I think we did watermelon in here. Is that correct? Yeah. But we basically took our prices. We plotted prices and looking at the introduction to demand and the law of demand, plotted prices for Alpaca, this class of 1,500 to 1,000 down to 500. And we saw that as the price decreased, we saw the quantity demanded increasing. Yes? Normal, typical behavior. And all we're talking about is a current change in price. That's it. Ceteris paribus means everything else held constant. There are other factors that we're going to look at today that do also impact our consumption habits. Okay? But right now it's just price. And as we continued on right here, this little side note only considers a change in price, current price. That was the law of demand. And we saw change in price increase. We saw a decrease in quantity demanded. And a decrease in price, we would see an increase in quantity demanded. So again, the question I had for you guys was this, that I wanted you to consider if in any scenario we do, is the scenario referring to a current change in price? If so, it's going to be a slide. That is the only thing that can cause a slide along the curve from one point to another is a change in current price. Are you with me? So a change in current price causes a what? A slide. That's it. Okay, so get ready. Here we go. Get ready for this. Close your eyes. Close your eyes at home. You're being weird. Close your eyes. Siratech Subharat. Go ahead and open your eyes. Siratech Subharat to you. That is, the spell has been lifted. We're now no longer looking at a change in current price. We're now looking at all the other factors that you got on the back side of your notes the other day. You recall? All the shifters, because shift happens. We got to deal with it. If you're like wondering what Siratech Subharat means, it's just ceteris paribus backwards. Don't be worried about it. That's how you look to spell. Okay, Siratech Subharat, ceteris paribus backwards. So now we're not looking at a change in current price, and I can take all this off and quit making an ass of myself for your sake. Oh, I was hoping the Harry Potter. No, this only lasts for a few minutes, please. Thank you. Welcome back, Mr. Eifert. For your sake, Siratech Subharat. Yeah, exactly. All you need to say, okay. So please do this for me. You guys at home as well, get out your notes, your white slip of paper, your white sheet from last Friday. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and scoot up. All right. Let's start with our title for today. So flip it over to the back, please. Same for you at home. Get your white sheet out. If you didn't do that lecture, and you're watching this lecture at home, you should stop watching this lecture. And you should go back to the other lecture, and you should get down everything I did on the white sheet. And scroll all the way to the end of the video and get down everything I did on the back side of the white sheet. And do that first, right? And then watch this video so you can get out that white sheet, the one I'm asking you about right now. Awesome. Please flip it over to the back, and that would be all of the shifters. Yes, you should have how many? 8. Cool. We have number of consumers. We have income as it pertains to normal and inferior goods. Thank you, ladies. You should have one on preferences or taste and preferences. Yes. Price substitutes, price of complements, expected future price, and expected future income. Nod your head if that's what you have. Don't nod your head at home. This would be weird. I can't see you if you're I don't know what's going on. So on today's clean white sheet, we're going to be doing all 8 scenarios. And I'm going to ask that you kind of break it up into quarters, or not your whole sheet, but if we have 8 of them, you could do 4 on the front and 4 on the back. Does that make sense? So you could do quarters if you want. I'm going to go ahead and title this one today, Shift Happens. Some years I forget the F. It's a little awkward when I do that. Okay, trying to be appropriate here. Okay, so shift happens. Listen, guys, Ceratec Subrat means we're not looking at a change in current price anymore. We're looking at all the other factors, right? All the other determinants that cause a change in demand. Yes? So let's begin. I'm going to go ahead. Let's go ahead and quarter this. Okay, we'll go ahead and do this. First one's going to be a little bit smaller. Are we good? Is that generally what you have? So we'll go number 1. Shifter is going to be number of consumers. Okay? So let's go ahead and set price and quantity. Remember, mind your P's and Q's. Go ahead and set D1. Okay. And again, just a show of hands, not at home, that's weird. Show of hands, you prefer this version of lecture over XE. Raise your hand. Oh, that's weird. Cool. Awesome. We will do this when we can. Sometimes we can't. Okay. We're in the market for watermelon again, is that right? That's what we were in. Make sure you always have it labeled. That says watermelon up there. And let's go ahead and do this. We don't have a lot of room here, but I'm going to tell you the story first, and then we're going to start writing our answer, and then we're going to do our answer, and we're going to demonstrate it on the graph. Okay? So let's do this. More people moved to California. Good? More people moved to California. So what would that tell us about number of consumers? Increase or decrease? Here we go. Let's go ahead and, so you read the scenario. So we see an increase, you could say population or number of consumers. Okay. Increased population or number of consumers. Therefore, what's that going to do to the demand for watermelon? Stay away from up or down. It's going to what? Increase. An increase in demand would be a shift to the what? Right or left? Right. To the right. Remember this. We read from left to right. That's an increase. Eyes at the board. Left to right. This direction will be a decrease. Okay? So, increase in population in California. We're going to see an increase in D. If it's curved, don't worry about it. Okay? I need your arrow to look like this. It's horizontal, okay? It's not, mine's angled slightly. It needs to be directly horizontal. Reason being, we'll fall out of my desk here. Reason being is to say this, look, at every given price level, at that price right there, don't we have an increase in demand, right? Has the price of watermelon changed? There's just more people in California, so there's just an increase in demand for watermelon, right? No change in current price, some other factor. So let's finish our answer. What would we write over here? Increase in, now it's not QD, it's just this, demand, big D, okay? Increase in demand. So again, we're going to tell a story, and there's going to be times where I ask you to do a story. There's actually extra credit available to you as well. There are 10 scenarios like these. You can take it home. I have the answers posted on Google Classroom. Okay, here's the assignment. Answers posted on Google Classroom. All I need you to do is do it all, copy down my answers, and then on the back, explain why the right answer is the right answer. Does that make sense? For 10 points. Okay, you don't have to do it, but it's 10 points extra credit. Pretty legitimate. So, all right, here we go. Let's go to shifter number 2. Okay, shifter number 2 is what? Keep out your other sheet from the other day. Okay, so we've got income, normal, goods. Bless you. Go ahead and set D1 and label or set up your graph and label D1. And make sure you label it watermelon. Okay. if you're seeing this at home, again, the first, we did watermelon first period, which is the class I'm recording in. Other classes are doing something different. Alpaca, plates of spaghetti, what have you, chocolate. So let's do this. Remember, what are normal goods? Goods that you would buy more of if you had what? More money. And goods that if you would buy less of if you had less money, okay? So assuming watermelon, and we may have to change, assuming watermelon is a normal good, okay? Let's do this. Let's say you just lost your job. I'll do this over here. Lost job, okay? Lost your job. There's the story. So we always, the first thing we want to do is write, part of our answer is we want to write down what the shifter is. So what would we say down here? Like that, what I mean is this, look here. This is the first part. The first part of our answer is whatever shifter we're talking about, whatever direction. So tell me what shifter we're using. Decrease income. Yes, you don't have to ask. Make sure you take the pass. Income, normal goods. We said we're losing income, and so what about the demand for a normal good? Go. Decreasing what? Demand. Yes. So we see a decrease in demand, and when we're talking normal and inferior, I like to do this. NG, normal good. And how is that represented on the graph? Demand shifts to the left, okay? So we're going to go ahead and do demand shifting to the left. And we're going to label it what? D2. And we're going to have a arrow, horizontal. Again, to demonstrate that at every given price level, this price, for example, we would say there's now just less demand, because we have less income. Remember, there are other things other than price change that affect our demand. Let's go to number 3. Give me a nod of your head if this is making sense to you. So we just want to practice every one of them. And then what we're going to do later is eyes here, you're going to ask yourself that question, is it talking about a current change in price? Well, today, none of these are, right? So they're all going to be shifts. But if it is talking about a current change in price like we saw Friday, then it's going to be a what? Slide. Okay? There's only one thing that can cause a slide, that's a change in current price. Everything else is a what? Shift. Here we go, number 3. Now we're looking at our shifter is income as it pertains to what? Inferior goods. So we need to pick a different good because we've already assumed that watermelon is a normal good. So go ahead and get set. And again, if it feels redundant, that is on purpose. Okay. Income as it pertains to inferior goods. I have to tilt this up a little bit here. Okay. Let's do this. One of you give us a story now. What's happened? Go ahead. Give me a story about income. Go ahead. You got a raise. Perfect. Oh, what did I miss here? Sorry. The good. What are we talking about? That's inferior. Maybe there's a brand. You're like, I don't need toilet paper. Listen, to me, toilet paper is a normal good. Top ramen. Cool. I like as a ramen or spam and ramen casserole. You know. Oh, that's an E, by the way. Okay, it's not Ramon. All right. Okay, so what was the shifter, or what was our story? We got a what? Got a raise. So again, for you guys at home, we're just giving a story so that we have some place to start. Okay. So our shifter is income. And what's happening to our income? Our income is increasing. Guys, I don't care if your arrow goes here or after it. I don't care. So the scenario says our income is increasing. And if we got a raise, what's happening to the demand for an inferior good when I have more money? Somebody raise your hand. Go ahead. It is decreasing. Why?
Because it's inferior. And you can do it.
Okay, perfect. So we see a decrease in demand. Notice, what am I leaving out in my answer? Q. The only time we include Q is when we're talking about what we did on Friday. Okay, changing current price. And what do I want to note here? What kind of good are we talking about? Inferior, because we can afford to buy other things like, gourmet egg noodles. And so a decrease in demand would be a shift to the what? I heard both answers. Shift to the left. D2. And again, at every given price level, we have seen a decrease in demand. That's it. Let's go on to number 4. Go ahead and get set, please. Let's go back to labeling it watermelon. What's our shifter we're going to be discussing? And preferences, we also include, I think I had this in your notes, are there tastes and preferences? Yeah. Okay, tastes and preferences. Let's go ahead and get set. Price, quantity, watermelon, and I'll let you get set, and then we will discuss that. All right. Now, what are the things on your notes that we looked at that affect our tastes and preferences? Look at your notes from Friday, please. Tastes and preferences are affected by advertisements. Good. What else? Information, publicity. Okay, I think I wrote later on in the day, news, etc. Just anything that's like out there that's trendy, right? That's trending, or that's information, or that's publicity. Trump tweeted this. LeBron James said that. Kim Kardashian's still talking, and she said something. Whatever. Okay, and you're going to see some funny ones here today if you do the extra credit opportunity. So let's do this. Somebody raise your hand and give us a little storyline regarding tastes and preferences as it pertains to watermelon. Go. Okay, let's pick something as it pertains to watermelon. Somebody said, information came out. Go ahead.
LeBron James said, "Boy, do I hate watermelon."
Okay. Okay. LeBron James says he hates watermelon. Or you could say Trump tweets something negative about watermelon, right? Whatever. Okay, so let's just say negative ad publicity. And so, didn't set D1. You probably did. So we see a negative advertisement. You could just write that. It's not going to increase or decrease, right? This time it's something like a negative info or ad. Therefore, what about demand? You see a decrease in demand for watermelon, which is a shift to the left. Remember, your arrow here is horizontal because at every given price level, at that price right there, we just see there's less demand for watermelon because of some outside factor other than price. Great. When you have that finished, go ahead and flip it over to the back and we'll continue. All right. How are we doing at home? Good. All right, we are now on number 5. Yes. All right, number 5. Our shifter is what? Price of substitutes. Now, these are the ones that are probably the most tricky. I'd say the last 4 here are the most tricky, just because they involve other things and they involve maybe future expectations. Okay, so let's go ahead and get set. We'll stay with watermelon. And again, in years past, it wasn't that I was teaching this poorly. It just, I wasn't giving you students an opportunity to build it enough times. So if you feel like it's redundant, that is on purpose. Like I said, it should be common. I mean, now I say get set, and you would know what to do, right? Make sure everything's labeled. D1, you're labeling watermelon, so on. All right, so let's do this. Substitutes, again, as a reminder, are goods, services, products that are used in place of one another. Yes? Okay, so like Burger King versus McDonald's or Coke or Pepsi. So it pertains to watermelon. Let's say we're talking about cantaloupe. Sound good? What's cantaloupe? Sorry. Cantaloupe is the little brown thing that's orange on the inside, right? Cantaloupe, kiwi, other fruit, whatever. So I'm going to say cantaloupe melon. Let's do this. Let's say the price of cantaloupe, here's our storyline, price cantaloupe has decreased. Price of cantaloupe has decreased. I'm just going ... because that's our storyline. And we got to start somewhere. Now, when you have that, eyes right here, please. Eyes right here. Are we talking about a current change in price of watermelon? Hello? No, we're not. So if we were going to graphically, we could do, I'm going to erase it exactly. We could do this for cantaloupe, couldn't we? Set D1, price of cantaloupe has decreased. Therefore, we see an increase in quantity demanded of cantaloupe. We could do a slide for cantaloupe, couldn't we? Right? But we don't, I'm not asking you to do that. I'm just asking you to interpret the impact of a change in price, a decrease in price of cantaloupe on watermelon. So is cantaloupe more or less desirable, first of all? Excuse me? The price of cantaloupe has decreased. Is cantaloupe more or less desirable now? Okay, so let's start with our first part of our answer. We see a decrease in price of substitute. And again, this is that language we're just sticking to. You don't have to write this all out. Raise your hand if you're like, I'm cool with this language. I don't want to write it out longhand, and it just gets us all on the same page. Decrease, and for those of you that didn't raise your hand like, I'm not a hand raiser. Cool, that's awesome. And for those of you that don't like it, then too bad. Too bad at home. Decrease in price of a substitute. Therefore, what does this do? If cantaloupe is more desirable, what does this do to the overall demand of watermelon as a substitute? It what? I heard both answers. It decreases it. We say if the substitute's more desirable, then we see a drop in the product we are talking about. And a decrease in demand is represented on the graph, a shift to the what? And we have, again, a horizontal arrow there. What time is it? 8:30? Good. All right, let's go on to number 6. Were there any questions so far? All right, number 6. Price of complements. Price of complements. Ooh. Remember, complements are products, goods, services that are used how? Together. Peanut butter and jelly. I have one. Peanut butter and jelly sandwich today on sourdough bread. Really excited about it. If anyone ever tells you you're too old to have peanut butter and jelly, you know what to tell them. I'm having, and I put it in the fridge because it's going to let the jelly marinate for a while, like soak into the bread. So you know what I'm talking about. What's up?
Try peanut butter and honey.
I do it all the time.
It's so good.
It is good. I do peanut butter and honey all the time too. I just kind of stagger it. Go.
Why the heck would you ruin a sandwich with sourdough bread?
It's so
I like the sweet and sour.
Just that
Good day.
Hey, sir.
Good day. Sure. All right, Bailey, we're doing compliments. So when you get back, price compliments. Sweet. All right, everybody at home, here we go. Please get set, ladies and gentlemen. We're still in the market for watermelon. Set D1. Notice in all these shifters, we're not doing the dotted lines. Do you see that? The only time you do that is when we're talking about a current change in price and there's a slide. Otherwise, we just do it without it. And it's just kind of a spatial representation there. We are analyzing. We don't have to do all the prices. We could draw it on there, but we're not. So price of complements. So things that are bought and used together. Let's do this. Paper towels, because watermelon makes you go to the bathroom. Yeah. So he said toilet paper and paper towels. Let's stick to paper towels because for the messiness, but toilet paper is just assuming that like my 3-year-old, you eat all the way down to the rind. I'm like, Royce, don't eat the white part at the bottom. He's like, I like it. I'm like, oh, see you in the bathroom in 8 minutes. Anyway, we'll go paper towels. That's a good one because you need paper towels. So assuming watermelon and paper towels go together, let's do this. Let's say price of paper towels, what? Okay, price of paper towels has increased. There's our story. Price of paper towels has increased. So we can, listen, when you know the story, go ahead and get your shifter down here. Price, increase, price, complement. We good? So you have half your answer done. Okay, so go ahead and get that down. We just take, and again, you're just taking the story, what you know, and getting started down here with half of your answer. It's essentially saying, if this, then what? If the price of paper towels, and couldn't we do this for paper towels? Eyes at the board. Couldn't we say price of paper towels has increased, so therefore there's a decrease in quantity demanded of paper towels, right? We're doing a current change in price for paper towels, but what we're not talking about paper towels, we're talking about what? Watermelon. So, what does the change in current price of paper towels do to the overall demand for watermelon? If paper towels have increased in price, are they more or less desirable? Less. So what does that do to the other thing, watermelons, that goes with it? Also what? Less desirable. Not because of a change in price, but just because of the complement effect. Decrease in demand, which is a shift to the what? Remember, horizontal arrow right there, because to say for the sixth time now, at every given price level, at this price right here, we just now have less demand, not because there's been a change in price. 2 to go. Number 7, let's go ahead and get set with our shifter, expected future what? All right. Raise your hand if you're doing okay. You're understanding this. The practice is good. You're like tracking, but okay. Again, the key with this is practice. You guys mind opening that? Thanks. Slide the block open, please. Can you open that stop block? Thank you. Welcome back. We already did price of complements, so you're gonna have to get it from someone else. We're on expected future price right now. And what did I forget on this graph? The label, watermelon, good. Listen, you will get docked points if you forget it, just like I did. So that's docking points for me. Okay, expected future price. Question, comment, sir?
We have a label on compliments.
Watermelon. All right. Somebody tell me the story. Tell us the story. Raise your hand about watermelon in the future. Go.
People think the price of watermelon is going to go up the summer.
Okay. Let's just say it's going to, okay? Expectations. People expect the price of watermelon to go up in the summertime. Okay, and right now it is not summertime. Okay, so let's go ahead and write it down first before we analyze. Let's just, you can go like this: expected future price summer, something like that. It's going to be an increase in the future price of watermelon. So we can take that scenario, remember, and we can start our answer down here. Okay. You can get halfway done there. All right, so let's, once you have it, eyes up here so I know. I want to talk about this for a minute. Okay. Are we talking about a current change in price of watermelon? We are not. So it cannot be a what? It cannot be a slide. It can't be a change in the quantity demanded, but it can be a change in demand. Okay? It's not a slide, it's a shift, because we're talking about the what? The future price, which affects our consumption now. Yes? So if we expect the price to increase in the summer, are we going to buy now or later?
Now.
So what about our demand right now? Increase in demand. What we're looking at all the time, this is current demand. All of our models we show here and moving forward are current models. So when we talk about the future, how does that affect current conditions? Okay. So we see an increase in demand, which is a shift to the right. Remember your horizontal arrow showing your shift, because at every given price level, we see an increase in demand. No change in current price. Once you're done there, let's go ahead and get set with number 8. Number 8 is expected what? Future income. Income. Expected future income. We'll go ahead and get set. We're talking watermelon again. Set B1. Good to go. All right. Somebody come up with a scenario about expected future income. Go ahead.
Wages are increasing.
Wager what?
Wages are increasing.
Let's do this. Minimum wage is increasing. It's a true story. Okay. Minimum wage is increasing. So again, you can take that story and we can begin to start our answer. If we say increase expected future income, right? We can get half of our answer done and ready because of the story. Now, if we expect wages to go up, now we have the income effect, right? If I'm going to have more money later, am I going to buy more now or more later? Okay, so what does that do to current demand? We see a decrease in current demand because people will wait to consume, which is a shift to the what? And again, for the last time, you have a horizontal shift in demand because at every given price level, at this price level here, we see there is just less demand, not because of a current change in price, but because of some other factor, because of a change in future expectations of income. Are we good? Here's what's going to happen. We have about 10 minutes. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to get out the extra credit and talk through that with you if you'd like. I'm going to shut the video off. Okay. If you want to get the extra credit, you can come see me when you're back. I'm going to shut the video off, and then hopefully by period's end, actually maybe we'll do it tomorrow. On your way into class, make sure these notes are polished and done, and I'll stamp them on the way into class. How many of you guys need to finish anything on it? You're probably pretty well done, but okay, finish them up. I'll stamp them on the way in tomorrow. Non-exy. So you're up to 15 points up there on the board. Thank you for playing at home.